Set it on, fist in the middle. If I ever lose, set it on, bigger and better. Hitting roller coaster, come bigger, bolder, faster. Boom, I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum.
Hi, so good afternoon. So I actually had this entire script prepared, but then as I was reading the script a while ago, the word authenticity came out a lot. So I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I started reading off my screen, right? So let me take this naturally. Allow me to just speak from the heart, I guess, as a creator as well. So my name's Tyrone. I'm Tyrone Britannia. I'm the head of the Alliance from Tier 1 Entertainment. And for those who aren't familiar with us, let me give you a short background of the company, who I am, and what we do. So Tier 1 Entertainment is really your touchstone to esports and gaming in Southeast Asia. Right now, Tier 1 is at the intersection of gaming, esports, creator communities, media rights, and retail. Across the platforms, across the major social media platforms, we have around 500 million followers combined, and we're hitting at least 1 billion impressions. As an operating unit, we operate in 5 countries right now. That's the Philippines, Vietnam, Myanmar, Japan, and Malaysia. And we reach a global audience just because of our international talents that we signed, right? So from our World Championship esports teams to our household creator names, Tier 1 really has made a dent in the Web2 world. But now, we've identified that the people who resonated with the audience of Web2, so your games, your popular games right now, might not be the same voices who actually make an impact in Web3. This is why we formed the Alliance, and this is where I come in. As the head of the Alliance, our goal collectively is really to create this voice, this cluster that is able to bring the community together, right? This is why our roster consists right now of various people, from your CEOs to your NFT illustrators, to your collectors, to your gamers as well, to your builders and thinkers. We want to create this community that is able to cater to all audiences. And I guess, back to the topic at hand, how do Web2 content creators actually transition to Web3? There's no one-size-fits-all. There's no easy solution that you just give to people, tell them to follow this, and then expect them to get followers, right? But we are confident in our best practices in Web2, and we are confident that we're able to transition this into Web3. The things that we've noticed is there's a really keen interest in the Web3 world already. But people are still afraid, so there's still that hindrance. So now what we want to do is cultivate this interest into action, because we believe that this is really the first step into being able to ease the public into a better Web3 world. So we aren't innovators yet. Our goal is really to drive traffic where traffic is needed. At the end of the day, our goal, the goal of the Alliance, is to create a community, a strong community that is able to let people know that Web3 isn't a scary world. This is why our values really hinge on authenticity, relevance, and legitimacy. Because at the end of the day, we acknowledge that you can't really force content down people's throats. You have to know what they're into, and not everyone wants a technical rundown of the latest Bitcoin trend. Not everyone wants to hear where Ethereum is going right now. Sometimes you need to ease people in through streams, through the newest play-to-earn games. And then you have to realize that education comes in different forms, and that creators and teachers come in different forms as well. So I guess, just to wrap it up very quickly, right? How does Web2 transition into the world of Web3? Naturally and with open arms, is what I would say. It's always a constant conversation, and you really can't force things to happen. We know that Web3 is going there, but for all those doubters yet, you can't just tell them, no, you're wrong. You can't just deny them. You can't just snub the people who are still being left behind. The best way to do this, while Web3 is a disruptive industry in itself, the community has to be one of collaboration and cooperation, right? So I hope all the creators here in this room also see the value of what we're trying to do and see what we want to accomplish. And I really hope that you guys join us in this mission of actually driving people and welcoming them into the Web3 space. So I guess I still have a few minutes. If you guys have any questions about what we're doing, about Tier 1, about the Alliance, maybe you guys can bring it up. Let's try to make this as natural as possible. It's one reason why I didn't read off my script, just so I hope you guys feel part of the talk as well. So If anyone has questions, I still have a few minutes, I think. Okay. Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Yep. Okay, so for everyone's reference, the question was what's the biggest barrier to actually welcoming people into the Web3 space, right? What's a solvable problem, I guess? Sorry for rephrasing, but what's a solvable problem for 2023 that we can directly address? So I guess just to answer that, right now, the Philippines itself, we've already identified it as a hotbed for Web3, as a hotbed for blockchain. There's already a very keen interest, starting from your play-to-earn games up until your trading, right? So one very easy thing that we can address right now is actually driving that community, driving education to the community. So as Tier 1, we've made our bread and butter through gaming, through streams, through being present to the major public. I think as our group, the first step is really to attack this point first. Create a very simple entry point into the Web3 space. We've already started this with multiple play-to-earn streams. We've already started this with really just easing the general gamer population into the world of Web3. After that, you have to realize what their interests are. So we already have tools for that as well. So just to give you an idea, I guess for 2023, our biggest plan is to create academies, is to get more streamers into the education space of it. So not always, not talking so much about what Bitcoin is, not talking about so much about what Ethereum is in general, but more of letting them understand why Web3 is the future. I think I have like a room for like 2 more questions, 3 more questions if you guys are interested.
This time I give you a microphone. Anybody has questions?
Okay, so until someone thinks of a question, okay, here, yeah. Thank you to the most participative group in the room.
They're amazing. They're building the Web3. Here we go.
Hi, good afternoon. Tier 1 is known for taking care of their talents extremely well. You've already built that brand, and that's why a lot of content creators in the Philippines gravitate towards you. For people who are in content creation maybe for the first 2 years, what's the evaluative criteria that you guys have on number 1, spotting talents, and number 2, what would be the value add that Tier 1 would have to nurture these content creators that would eventually be a part of the alliance? Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to take that question in 2 parts. First, how Tier 1 did business traditionally versus to how we're moving the content creation space into the alliance. Without giving too much trade secrets away, we do have our own formula. We do have career managers, talent managers that actually plot out what a talent is already doing well and where they should be improving. So basically, we have a career developmental plan. So first and foremost, our value to the streamer is 1, our basically our plan for them going forward, and 2, it's already the community, the brand that we are already boasting of. So the problem, I guess it's not a problem, but there's a mentality right now that if you're already into content creation, you don't need to ally yourself with a group like Tier 1. But I feel like the value we bring is very different because more than just the streams, we bring in commercial deals. I think I mentioned to you a while ago at the start of this, we're not only into content creation now, we're actually into retail, we're into media rights, we're into IP, we're into licensing. So we've really transcended the world of streaming and have actually already gone into the physical level, right? We have jerseys, we have clothes, and we have basically all types of fanware, which again leads to other rooms for commercialization. For the alliance now, on the other hand, the beauty about the alliance is we've identified that this space should be non-exclusive. So it doesn't mean that you're part of the Tier 1 alliance that you can't do your own thing. We understand that there are already people in the space, CEOs, NFT collectors, etc., that have their own deals and that have their own opportunities that are already happening. We don't want to come in and say, no, you can't do that if you want to be part of us. We understand that it's collaborative and it's a calculated risk, basically, taking these people in, telling them that we can actually help each other. Do your brand, we'll help you there, but when it's time for us to collaborate, then let's be partners, let's be part of the alliance, basically. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to wrap up, so if I have one more question, I think someone was raising their hand. Okay, if wala na, I guess I'll end with this. If there are any content creators here who are already into Web3 or interested to learn more, please feel free to approach me. We actually have our blacklist booth downstairs by Tier 1. And let's talk about it. Let's get things going. Even if you're not a content creator, if you think you have a project that you want to run by us, let's get to talking. As I mentioned a while ago, this community is really one that will stay alive because of community and collaboration. And that's a spirit we all want to keep, right? So, in the Web2 world, we always heard the word disruptive. We always heard the word, you have to come first. In this space, I'd like to change that a bit into saying that we're only going to move forward together. We're only going to move forward if we're hand in hand, basically. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening to this. Thank you so much for this quick opportunity. And I hope you guys visit our booth and you continue to support the Alliance and Tier 1 Entertainment. Thank you.
Philippine Talks Week. See you next year.